My office is literally so sweltering hot right now, so let's make this a quick one. Hello again team, it's Jess or JashiiCorrin, and welcome back for my week 9 plan with me. Please excuse me for any background noise you might hear in today's video. I do have the window open at the moment because, as I said, it is so damn hot in my office. I just need there to be some kind of a breeze. And opening the window was going to be less noisy than turning on my fan. As can be expected, today I'm setting up for week 9, which is the 24th of February through to the 1st of March. Because the majority of the week is still in February, I'm just going to have that one right over the page from this weekly spread, rather than after my March monthly pages. In terms of how this week is going though, so as you can see, it does have a few things on it, but still doesn't have anywhere near the same amount of use as I had back in January. I'm slowly getting there, I'm slowly finding a balance between this and my teacher planner, but it is still a struggle, and I'm probably still going to have to work on that for the next couple of weeks. Jumping into the time-lapse though, just a reminder that any of the equipment I use in today's video is linked in the description box below. In terms of answering the questions from last week's video, the first question I'm actually going to have is 2 separate questions, one from Tina and one from Manuela. Again, if I said your name wrong, please do let me know. Tina's question was, can you merge your teacher planner into your bujo, allowing all your info in one place? And Manuela said, you've told us that in the past your teacher and personal spreads were all in your bujo. Could it be that you are missing this compact solution? So yes, I could certainly have all of my teaching stuff in my bullet journal as well, but that would kind of defeat the purpose of me having gotten that teacher planner. In terms of the teacher planner, one of the main reasons I got this was to help me enforce the boundaries that I'm trying to set myself between work time and not work time. Finding better work-life balance was one of my goals for last year and also as a goal for this year. So to help myself with this, I wanted to have all my teaching stuff separate from my personal stuff. The tasks and events that I had for teaching though did take up a lot of space in my bullet journal, which always made my spreads look really full at the end of the week. So maybe now as they're not in my bullet journal anymore, I just need to find some layouts that are still going to look full despite not having quite as many tasks and events. This brings us to the next question from Butterfly Nez, who said, have you considered making half spread weeklies for these types of weeks? I tend to smush everything together when I have weeks like this where I barely touch my bujo. It would also free up some extra space so you could do a Dutch door spread again. That's a really good thought actually, so maybe in March I'll try doing some more one-page weeklies rather than weeklies that go over a spread. And as you said, yes, that would save space, which means maybe I'll get to do some more Dutch doors in the future. Our next question comes from Courtney, who asked, do you have any recommendations for cheap bullet journals? I've been using the one by Ricobello and I love it, but I'm looking for an upgrade that's also cheap. This is a tough question for me because I think that in terms of my bullet journals, going from my first one to my current one, they've been getting more expensive. As you guys probably know, I started in the LT 1917, then after a couple of those went to the Scribbles That Matter, after a couple of those went to the Dingbats, and now I'm in the Archer and Olive. I personally don't have any recommendations for cheap bullet journals, because I'm probably a little bit of a bullet journal snob. And I know there certainly aren't really very many, if any, available in New Zealand, but in other countries I know that people talk about things like the Artist Loft journals, but I think they're only available in America, I'm not too sure. If any of you guys watching have some suggestions for Courtney though, please do leave them in the comments section. It'd be cool to know what other journals are out there that are on the cheaper end of things. Our next question comes from Ceriella? I know that those are probably both wrong, apologies. But their question says, so many things have affected my use of my bujo. Hope to get out of my funk soon. All I want to use is my book bujo. Should I merge my personal bujo with it? Don't know. So there are a couple of things to consider here probably. I know that I took most of my collections out of my bullet journal and made my long-term collections bullet journal because I knew that those collections were going to last longer than the life of one of my journals. So I personally found that having those separate was really helpful because then I didn't have to redraw them every time I went into a new journal every 6 months. If the things you're keeping in your book bujo are the same, then it is probably worthwhile keeping them separate. Another thing to consider would probably also be how you'd set up a combined journal where you had your book bujo stuff and your personal bujo stuff. For instance, would you have all of the pages intermingled with each other, or would you have the front of the bujo for personal stuff with the back stuff for your book bujo stuff, or vice versa? And if you had it one way or the other, would this bother you? As I said, I like to keep my long-term collections separate, but I don't mind having short-term collections in my bullet journal. Going back to the idea of having teacher spreads in my bullet journal, one of the spreads that I recently set up was this Are You Ready page. On this one I have the week numbers along the top, and I have the days of the week down the side, along with the numbers for each of the periods we have each day, so 1 through 6 for Monday, 1 through 6 for Tuesday, so on and so forth. Which means that each of the little sections on this tracker represents one period. When I've planned what I want to do in that period, I do a half cross, and then when the materials are all finished, I do a full cross. Because this collection is only going to last within the lifespan of this journal, I'm okay with having it in here, but if it was a long-term collection, I'd prefer to have it in my separate journal. As always, thank you to our inquirers for their questions. If you guys have any questions you'd like answered in next week's video, please do leave them in the comments. Alrighty, so we have a space for each day of the week, and then a space for notes on the side here. Honestly, a pretty simple setup, it's just boxes with labels. I do like the little pop of colour, I do like the little drop shadows though, and hopefully this one will get a little bit more use than the week I'm in currently. But small progress is still progress. Thank you for watching, team. If you liked today's video, please do make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you wanted to see more from me, feel free to go check out one of my other videos. Until next time, bye!